Well, we have no, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let us pray. Father, we just thank you for this time to come together, to work together, to do what is best for the citizens of Nashville. We ask for your wisdom during this time to lead and guide us. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Mayor, before we go any further, where is the flag?
Where's what?
Where's the flag? Where's our flag?
Both flags are at the crossroads, and they're taking pictures with them for the meeting.
Okay.
Well, just so we know where
I
they
just want
are.
to know where they were. Get them back. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. And this is not on the agenda, but yesterday was such a special occasion when we had the groundbreaking for our Shell building and working in partnership with Nash County and Nashville and seeing what the Golden Leaf Foundation, how they can help us grow as a city and as a town. It was just a great time. Very hot, but a good time. The first item on our agenda is the Fellowship Church purchase. Randy?
Well, at the last council meeting, Dawson Construction Services gave their assessment of the property, its condition, the likely cost of renovation, and the council had asked for a little more detail on that. So we have with us today Scott Garner with Dawson Construction Services, and Scott has prepared an update to the report that he gave at the last council meeting that he's going to go over with the council today. And when he's finished, if the council has any questions about the condition of the property as Dawson sees it, he's here to answer those questions. Scott, without further ado.
Thanks,
Good morning.
Scott.
I'm Scott Garner with Dawson Construction. Feel free to ask questions as I go along. As Randy said, we were asked to give a little more, after the last council meeting, we were asked to provide a few things. One was a detailed cost estimate, which actually came directly from you guys. And then what needs to be done right away versus down the road. What is needed to change the use, accessibility, and the septic system and the sprinkler system. So my plan is to go through those items. Now. All right, so immediate item that we identified, I'll put it first in the system. We do have, we did find there's some X-bracing in the existing gym that has been disconnected. It looks like a door was added. That is a structural issue for the building. I think that needs to be addressed by an engineer and a fix. It's not a huge deal as far as cost or correction, but it is something that needs to be addressed immediately if you purchase the building.
What was that word you used?
It's some bracing for the building. So it has rod bracing on it to brace the building. And one of those sections, because they cut a door in, they disconnected the bottom section of that, one of those rod braces.
Which door was that?
The door going out the side of the gym
Okay,
toward the parking lot.
okay.
So the door can stay, just kind of rebrace the wall.
Correct. All right, roof repair. So then items that understand they've reached their end of life, right? So if you postpone the renovation, there's some things you'll likely have to deal with on the maintenance side. One of those is roof leaks. You may or may not have to deal with addressing those, but all of those fasteners they've reached the end of life. So there's some maintenance that'll have ongoing maintenance for the roof. And then the HVAC system, we obviously were not able to test the heat, but the air conditioning, all the units were working at the time of inspection. But as I'm sure people know, when you have 14, 12 to 18, 20-year-old units, at any given time, you're likely to deal with maintenance.
Right.
So that's one of the issues with moving in and not doing any renovation work. There's a few, I would call minor items that need to be addressed. a lot of the faucets were leaking, hose bibs were leaking, probably more lack of use than anything, dried up seals. Those are relatively inexpensive to fix. The electrical panels were not, they need to be addressed with regard to properly labeled and disconnecting. So that was something the electrician needs to deal with. And then there's some light bulbs and things that need to be replaced that were out. So that's all minor items, but I think there's things you'll have to address when you move in. So the septic system is probably a bigger item. One thing, and I printed this off the GIS, this is soils map. And to change the use in that septic system, as far as the septic system for its current use is acceptable, but change it to business and be in town services, I think we believe it will have to be increased in size, but we need to have a soil scientist tell us that. This is not my area of expertise, but I can tell you the soils that, based on the GIS, those soils that are on the majority of that property are rain soils, which are typically not well drained. There's also some Norfolk soils that are near the building that are typically suitable for a septic system. So when I give you a range that's so big, I mean 75,000 to 300,000, there would really need to be a soil scientist hired to evaluate it and even let us know if that septic system, if it's even suitable for a septic system, and then design said system so we can get a price. So I know it's a large range for a septic system, but at this point, that's the best I can do because I can't tell you that property is suitable for a larger system.
Do we locate the septic system?
We've located the septic system. We pumped it. We checked the flow and all those things as part of our report.
Is that something that would have to be done immediately?
Well, if you want to verify that it can be used for your intended use, I would say yes. That would be my recommendation.
Now
I think Mr. Stocks gave some budget numbers for running sewer. So one of those two things would have to happen.
But the current septic system is in good shape.
It appears to be yes.
I guess my question is, if this was good enough for a church that had a congregation that was very large and was actively using the gym, I don't understand why it would seem like we need to change it for our use.
So there's gallon use, and I'd have to pull up but there's a kind of a guideline for gallons per day.
Mhm.
And the flow for how what we've identified as your use would be about 6,000 gallons a day. What's this say? Yeah, 6,000 gallons a day, give or take.
That's with all of the employees that we would anticipate being in there.
Yeah,
Parks and Rec and employees, you consider all that.
we gyms are a little different. They're per square foot for gallons, not necessarily people. So we look at it that way as well. That's a little bit outside of our expertise. We really need to engage someone else for that.
I can go back and look, but the current septic system is in the Norfolk area.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
You remember what page that is on the original report?
I do not. It's the one with Creech's Plumbing.
11.
Page 11.
It was on the original one.
Yeah. Oh, there's no map, it just has,
Yeah, this is just a report from Creech's.
Oh, okay.
It's just something I
I can
put
see
off
that,
the
yeah.
GIS right there, to kind of give you an idea.
Do you know on this map about where it is?
Yeah, so it is. On the edge right there, that's, at least that's where the pump and the tank itself is.
Purple's Norfolk.
Purple's Norfolk. And I'm assuming these lines, actually, we don't know where the lines are, I'm assuming they run in this area.
They go under the drive.
I don't, most of this over here, there's just one drive that runs, it's probably in this grassed area behind the drive. This is all parking, that's why I wouldn't think it'd be there. We only located the tank.
On your report, the one you just gave us, if you look on the, page 4, framing and drywall, 103,000, what do we need to do with framing and drywall?
So, this is the total, so let's see the breakdown.
Page 4, I think you're all right.
Yeah.
Page 4.
There's a breakdown on page 5 and 6 by area, kind of gives you some idea, council chambers. At this point, we haven't done design, so I wasn't sure exactly how many walls you would need, drywall, things like that. I made a tremendous amount of assumptions
Okay.
as I went through this. So each area is broken down by the same category, and just trying to identify how much. I mean, for instance, the gym area obviously has less than the council chambers, right? I mean, there's some more work that has to happen.
So the plans that we've seen, your estimate is not based on those?
Yeah, they're based on that, but generally speaking, they're not design plans, they're just a floor plan. Does that make sense? So for instance, like the second floor, I've got $20,000, and I would think there's gonna have to be some walls. You're gonna probably want, I know we did a fit test, but there's gonna be some walls built up there. He asked why there's that much money in drywall and framing. There's gonna be some walls that have to be built.
I guess I'm just under the impression that we have a plan, that
We have-
the estimate will be based on the plan, so I guess I'm confused.
No, I agree, it is based on the plan, but, at this point, it is awfully difficult to give a detailed line-by-line estimate on a set of plans that's just a floor plan. I had to do a lot of square foot costs based on historical data, and, I think this is close, but to ask detailed questions about how, it's just difficult to do with just a floor plan. There's a lot more design that goes into a full set of plans that are ready for pricing and getting final pricing.
There's still a lot of unknowns without us actually getting in there and seeing what we need.
It is.
So for example, the second floor offices, are we really using the upstairs as second floor offices, Randy?
We wouldn't need to, right from the beginning.
Right.
Again, we don't need to move out there tomorrow or even a year from now. But within the next 5 years, we're going to be out of room at Town Hall. I mean, we have one spare office at Town Hall right now, and then after that, it's completely full.
For the county reasons, are we allowed to use part of that building and not part of it? I mean, is that allowed?
Use the bottom, not the top kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I asked somebody that, yeah.
I mean, I think you can use portions of it, but it'll have to be, the use of it will have to be changed, even if you use one office of it, from where it is now to.
I understand that.
So to go through, we continue to, the next item was the budget, which you've gotten to. So we have added, I've given you a little more breakdown as requested, which includes HVAC and the roof work. So then, and I've broken it down by first floor, second floor, council chambers, and gym area. The gym area also includes a small addition off the front for an entry area, which is why that cost is so high. I mean, typically, your gym won't stay as is, but there is a little small addition out front that we've identified that is needed. And the roof repairs in there as well, as a separate item.
So, every page is a different price, so I'm a little confused on that too, so,
So page 4, that gives you a total, that is.
Of everything.
Of everything. And
Okay.
then the pages 5, 6, and 7 breaks out, and they all total to the
Okay.
page
so
4.
all four,
Okay, I
all four
see.
of these prices add up to.
Correct.
To what's on page
That
4.
is correct,
5 prices,
yeah.
I got you.
And I guess as a council, we can go through and say what is an immediate need versus what is a down the road possible need.
That's correct. All right.
So what's the difference in the new conceptual budget compared to the old conceptual budget?
What do you mean new and old?
Well, we were told 1.2 or 3.
So we added the HVAC and the roof to that number. I think we said 1.2 to 1.4, I think. was what that
1.2 and
was.
3, I thought.
Yeah, and as I went through and then we also included HVAC and roof into this.
So the budget, when you told last month, or last 2 weeks ago, that didn't include the roof of the HVAC.
That's correct.
On page 5, second floor offices. Am I missing it? Do you have, elevator
That's under equipment.
equipment?
That's the equipment,
Okay.
$200,000.
Okay,
How much?
200,000.
By the time you build the shaft and the elevator itself,
I thought we-
it's gonna be every bit of that.
I thought it was 100,000 to start with, then double. Okay. Okay.
Can we get copies of that?
Can we get copies of the information that you all have?
I will take it to the library and make copies.
You know, and on that stage, the exchange, I don't think we can cut it off, because then we could rent it. We can come in.
So on page 8, the fire separation,
Yeah, so that's where I'm headed. So,
okay?
one of the other things they asked us to confirm was a fire sprinkler needed, and with compartmentalizing, there's already some firewalls there was originally built. So I think with that, we should not need a fire system. Although these firewalls, there's a couple of firewalls that are not. I don't know if there's been, for instance, the gym, there's a 2-hour wall that appears that separates that from the offices area or the rest of the area. There's been a counter shutter put in that wall. I'm assuming that wasn't original for the simple reason it's not rated. So you would have to add a shutter, 2-hour counter fire shutter to close off in the event of a fire, or closing the opening, one of the two.
I thought the plans called for closing the opening in.
And that's, someone said they would like to have the opening.
Yeah, they wanted to.
Yeah, they want to keep the opening, is what we were told. So I think a fire shutter is needed.
And the plans call for 2 new bathrooms to go into the right side, so I would assume you have to have a firewall on those doors also, because you're adding those doors.
Anytime we're gonna breach that wall, when you cut it in, you'll have to put in fire rated doors. Yes, sir. So that counter shutter will have to be the stair. We tried to make, I know the door's not rated, we didn't see a tag on the stair going up. And the plans don't technically indicate that that is rated, but that stair enclosure will need to be rated. I don't think that's a huge deal. I know, as far as a 1 hour rating, it shouldn't be that costly. And then the large sanctuary that you will turn into a council chambers, that wall will need to be rated. It's not now, although it appears that the construction of it is full 8-inch thick masonry or 12-inch thick masonry. So we should be able to use that wall as a rating. We'll just need to have to change the doors out to be rated doors.
Now, where is that?
That's the doors leading from the new sanctuary into that little foyer, breezeway, whatever you want to call it, connecting over
Okay.
to the offices.
Going back to the stairs, are those adequate
So
stairs?
that was my next comment. So those
Very
stairs
steep.
they're steep and they're narrow, and I don't think daily use by a number of employees going up and down would be adequate. I think they need to be addressed.
And this budget doesn't include that.
Well, the renovation costs should cover. Yeah, the renovation cost should cover that.
Would that be under the second floor portion?
Yes.
But that wouldn't have to be done until we had employees we wanted to put up there. Is that correct?
That's correct.
If you were using it as storage, would that have to be done then?
I don't think so.
Hey guys. So technically, if you don't do any construction around the stairs, you don't have to touch the stairs. Although just for everyday use and for, the employees, I would recommend changing them out, but only during renovation, if you absolutely don't want to do it right away.
And my next question was the elevator. I saw on your next page, that's not a requirement, but it's kind of looked down upon if you do not.
I don't think you'd actually have to put that elevator in. But so that second floor accessibility, that's the next page, option on page 10. And we would have to change the use of the building. Now, to change that, for the use to change, I think we added up some of the costs in here. We think that change of use to be somewhere between $36,000 to $40,000 based on work would need to happen, and then plans not get submitted. But a part of that, what I think will happen is when we do that change of use, it will trigger the septic system. So that's why I think now would be, I would address the septic issue earlier, sooner than later. That would be our recommendation. Either plan on bringing sewer or continue down the road and hire a soil scientist to address the septic system.
Before acquisition of the property, is that what you're saying?
That's up to the
Otherwise, you don't know
council.
what you're getting into money-wise.
If you want to ensure that you could use that, you put a septic system for your use prior to purchasing, that would be my recommendation.
Scott, how would you change the stairs? I'm looking at the obviously you have to put a landing, I guess, but I don't see room for that, so how would you do that?
We'd have to increase, I think our layout has increasing the width just a little bit and then extending it, making it longer. Because it's fairly steep now, so we would lose some of the floor area, would basically make that longer.
So in office 3, I'm seeing stairs over top, so that's what you've done is,
Yeah.
so it would still be the same, wouldn't be any.
It wouldn't be landing or turns, but it would be a more easier to transgress.
You're gonna stretch out the slope.
Yes, sir.
Bill, what page are you on?
And there's
I'm on
plenty,
I'm on the plans,
Yes.
right here, the pull-out plan. I'm on B, I guess it'd be sheet B.
Yeah.
Just looking at it's, they're like really steep right now, so it shows them, I don't know, probably 6 foot longer, I guess.
There's plenty of room.
They're going into the office behind it, which would be Parks and Rec office. They've put in more stairs.
When you're on,
B of the,
Randy, Randy, were you able to get copies?
Yeah, they're coming.
Okay, because the newspaper has it, they don't pay tax, we're taxpayers. We don't-
Excuse me, let's keep order. We're trying to get you some copies as quickly as we can. I'm
Well,
sorry.
should have been followed up before this.
I'm sorry we didn't have any. Can someone give them a copy of yours? Okay, thank you.
And I'm sure they'll be provided online or somewhere.
Yeah, they'll be online. We're gonna put these online, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
I know this is not a question for today, but I mean, even that area where the elevator lobby is, I mean, I think there could be some adjustments made and we can put a landing in there. There's enough room, I think, to do all that probably. But that's a statement and question for another day.
And that's things we'll work through,
Bless you.
when you actually go forward to design. I mean, this is a kind of a fit test, could we make it happen, kind of layout. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of conversation, a lot of meetings, a lot of input once this, to finalize this floor plan, I would assume.
Oh, yeah.
Any other questions?
I just need to dive into this and really spend some time on it. I'm sure we can reach out with any questions that we have, right?
Absolutely.
And at the same time, Kate was talking, we probably need to take this and go out to the church 2 by 2 and see what has to be done, immediately, what doesn't, to get a true picture of what it would cost us to do that. Walk around and just look and see.
do we have time to do all that before the 16th meeting? Because 16th meeting is
It's next Tuesday.
yes, up or down, right? The
Yeah.
16th.
Yeah.
Do we have time to do that between now and then?
We can schedule it for you guys to do that. One thing, based upon what Scott said here today, after this meeting, I'll get a hold of Kevin Marks with Nash County Building Inspections and ask him these questions about the change of use and whether or not it's going to require the drain field for the septic system to be expanded. I have no idea how many gallons per day the church assembly, and Scott, you probably don't know either, but maybe they're the same. They are, then we wouldn't have to do anything with the septic system as far as increasing its capacity.
I'm sure we can get some answers
Yeah.
from the owner too, as far as how many people they had at their maximum attendance or regularly per week or,
Hey, they haven't
and we
had
don't
church
know-
out there in years.
We don't know what.
but they did have an
still
active
use
church that had the very septic system that we're
Many
talking
years
about.
ago.
Excuse me, if we're gonna have
Are we
this,
not allowed to speak?
yes, but please
Come up to the
but we can't
podium.
hear
There's
you.
no sign-in sheet. There were no sheets for the citizens of town. It's like you all didn't expect anybody. to
Calm
come
down,
today.
please.
There's
No, I'm
gonna,
not gonna calm down.
These are always provided online. When do we do a handout of every single thing that we get up here? It does not happen.
I have never been to a meeting where there was no handout provided until today.
There have been
Where was this
plenty of
meeting
meetings
advertised?
everywhere.
No, it was advertised on Facebook. It was not in the graphic.
If you would like to speak, you
Listen,
can come up when
yeah,
he is finished
we
and you
just
can
need to
speak.
have-
Plenty to say, so yeah.
we just need to have order. I mean, we're not here to put down anybody, to hurt anybody, to belittle anybody. We're here together to work to see what will be the best and the least expensive over the long haul for the citizens of Nashville. So from this point, if anyone has anything to say, we want to hear you, but please come to the podium so that everyone can hear you.
One thing I don't know is the design of the existing system. So that's all I was going to comment on.
The septic.
The existing system, I don't know what flow it was designed for.
Any other questions?
And your limited knowledge, you think only the purple can have a septic system?
My limited knowledge. I can just tell you that if you look up the rain
It's all
soil,
septic.
it's not well drained soil.
I like to clean the
That
person.
is really not my expertise
I
at
got
all.
you, got you.
Well, we appreciate what you've done, and you've given us something to look at and think about. And like I said, if the council would like to go out in twos and see what and with what the plans are and see what really has to be, to see what we can actually cut it down. We know that this is not money that's coming right now, that it's gonna be expanded probably over 5 years, but we do need to see that, and we'll do that.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My apologies on the copies. I didn't realize the library's copy machine does not collate. So when I made 10 copies, it printed. And now we have to put 10 piles together and staple them together. Sorry. Trey's working on that. He should be here shortly with the copies.
Thank you. Any other discussion about the number one on our item?
I think we need to allow Mr. High time.
Well, I am. Is anybody in the audience that would like to speak, come up to the podium?
The reason I didn't come to the podium is there's no sign up.
That's okay. I apologize for that.
First off, my father, I think, has called everybody. He's in Nova Scotia. He couldn't be here today. But he called everyone on the council, and everyone got back with him with the exception of Mrs. Burns, and he called you twice.
I received his message and I still will be calling him, yes.
Okay, so he'll be back on the 19th, so that will be great. If I understand this correctly, I was just listening, so this 1.8, let's call it 1.9 million, is kind of a guesstimate. We really don't know yet what we're going to have to spend, because water and sewer is not included in this, nor is the septic tank. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is included in,
Septic.
Is the septic tank included?
not the
No,
septic,
it's
but the
not.
water.
So when did they get this to read?
Right now.
It's from it today.
That's my point. You're not prepared.
We're not voting on it
Last
today.
one?
This is information purposes.
This is for
We're not
information.
voting today.
I understand that.
No, we already voted, to be honest with you.
I mean, I understand that, but this should have been in your possession at least several days ago, so you could look over it. She's saying it is included, he's saying it isn't included. That's a discrepancy. We elected you all to be our officials. So you can get angry with me, you can get nasty with me, but I pay a lot of tax in this town, probably more than you pay or ever will pay.
Well, we aren't gonna do this. I'm not gonna get angry with anybody.
I'm not talking to you.
I'm just gonna do what I think is best. And I'm
This
gonna,
is not what's best.
well, we're doing the best with what we have, and we will get it right, I promise you.
This
We're
is
gonna-
not what is best.
And that's your opinion, and that's okay. We all have opinions.
Well, you know what? It's not just my opinion, it's a lot of people's opinion. And if this meeting had been advertised correctly, if it had been put in the graphic, not everyone in this town is on Facebook.
It was on the website also, and by
And
law,
not
we're not
everybody,
required.
not everybody is on the web. So all that's required is to put it on the website and to put
A
it on
called meeting is
Facebook.
48 hours, yes.
Okay? So that's why we only have 3 residents here. People didn't know.
But you know something, Al? We opened that facility for people to come and see it, so that you would see what we are working with. I didn't see you there.
I'm not in favor of it.
Well, I know, but we would ask everybody to just come and see. And we had what, 15 people,
I've
16?
been to services out there. I'm
Yeah.
familiar with the building.
Well,
But
good.
I mean, I'm just saying, it hasn't been used in a church, as a church since they built this
They're
church.
still using it on Wednesday nights, and they're using it for the youth. They're still doing that.
For the youth, but not for the whole congregation, which is
On Wednesday
ours.
nights, they are. And Wednesday nights is what they said.
Okay.
So in your opinion, what is our best step forward to purchase the furniture building and make
No,
that town
and I mean, that
hall?
would be your comment.
But that seemed to be your opinion at the last meeting.
That was one thing. No, the best thing would be to be a prudent advisor of what you already own, which is the land behind the town hall, which the town council purchased before you ever heard of Nashville.
So you'd rather spend many millions more to build back there in a historic residential neighborhood?
What are you talking about? Body Street is all the way, they own all that property to Body Street.
I am not putting a business next to a historical house on Body Street. I can promise you that.
Well,
So my
you
vote would be
speak
no
for the
to
whole
that.
town of Nashville.
My vote is no to put a building on a historical street on Body Street.
It's not gonna be on Body Street. It's,
Yes, it will
Yes, it'll
be.
be facing.
My vote is no to put a building in a historical neighborhood next to historical homes, period. Next topic.
next topic is, I didn't vote for you, and I sure as hell-
Okay, that's okay. We aren't gonna play this game. We've got to do it in love and honesty
Well,
and,
there's no love.
and respect. Okay. Next item,
Yes, next item. Do I just make a motion?
yes.
I make a motion, we go into closed session pursuant to NCGS 143-138.11A5, acquisition of real estate, and NCGS 143-138.11A4, economic development.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.